Good Sunday morning and welcome to the Hot Seat Podcast presents Football Talk Live, powered by DUBBY. I'm Shawn Xavien alongside the homie, the storyteller. And for the next, next 90 minutes or so, thank you guys for tapping in, supporting nothing but our brand of hot takes, unfiltered conversation, and the best interactive chat around. Of course, we are live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Welcome in, folks. Welcome in, my friend. How we doing on this pleasantly surprising Sunday in this fall weather? And fall has hit, right? Have we officially went into fall?
Yeah.
I didn't know when it flipped over into fall. It's all over the place, but it's nice. A little damp, from the rain, I guess, from a few days ago. So I got like wet leaves in my yard, considering that I don't even have a tree with leaves. Just let that run past you real quick. It's annoying. Mm-hmm. But in any case, man, how you feeling, man, on this? I see you got the gear on. So somebody feeling good, I guess. I don't know.
Nah, just wearing it. Just wearing it. Yeah, I feel good, man. Good time always around this time of the year. So
yeah. True. I'm with you as well. I am wearing my teal and orange, not for the Canes, but for my Hurricanes that are this weekend. They went over to Virginia Beach, the Tri-City Hurricanes, and they participated in their Super Bowl. I haven't checked the results yet, but salute to all those and all of the other football teams, whether it's high school, youth football. Salute to you guys.
Salute to the Oxon Hill Clippers. It was a tough one. I know yesterday they lost in the playoffs by 1 point. I think it was 35-34.
So, wow.
Yeah,
those are the tough ones. those are the tough ones, man. I'll say this though before we move into it. I remember when Xavien was playing football and their team was in the playoffs at Wild Lake, and it was around this time. And because pictures come up in Google or Facebook or whatever, and it's showing me I'm out there wintered up because them jackets needed because it was cold as hell on that Friday night. But jeez Louise, yeah. So yeah. But it's a good time, man. So you went to the game, right?
No. We were at a winery.
Yeah. Fair. That's fair. That's fair. Sorry.
It's cool. That's about it. We were at a winery.
That's fair, man. Let's get right on into it, man. Of course, we have our college football top 25 scoreboard at the bottom of the screen. Let's start talking some college football. A lot happening over the weekend. Of course, now we're in that season where now you're trying to see who's going to be placed where in the college football playoff, and bowls matter as well. But I feel like you forgot about that. Remember when bowl season happened, it used to be a big thing. And now with how things go, it's not, you just wanted to go to a bowl game, but now it's like, who's going to be in the playoff? And we know how it's driven. So let's talk about
what players are going to play in the bowl.
You have no idea. None idea. One team that we don't know who's going to be playing on there is the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. This season has been so crazy with the upsets and the expectations not being met. Just check the Miami Hurricanes, my Miami Hurricanes. Look at those to the likes of Texas, hell, even Florida, LSU's, all those. But Georgia Tech for a while was up there, and their upset loss was like 28-0. I got it in my notes here, which really just throws a wrench into the whole ACC thing. The most recent projection, I believe I saw in there last week, I saw Miami in there, and I've seen one which you'll pull up shortly now has UVA in there. What you got on that, man? Because, of course, you have Notre Dame, which I think they are wherever they slotted into all this. But what's your take, man, one, on the upset itself? Because remember, the while Georgia Tech for the most of the season has been looking pretty damn good until. I
mean, just like any college sports, anybody can get really upset, and I won't be surprised heavily. But that game, it wasn't just an upset.
42-28, I'm sorry.
Whooped.
Yeah, there you go.
They were getting whooped.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't know that they were playing the game that day, and that's different than just getting upset. You're just not prepared for the game, and that's coaching.
Yeah.
We always talk about coaching. We can't talk about it enough. Like, you have to be ready to play these games. You can't be looking past that week. I don't care.
Exactly.
And that's really what it looked like to me. It looked like they weren't even prepared for the game until I think it was towards the end of the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they started to wake up. But Pittsburgh was already rolling. So it didn't matter at that point. So, yeah, that goes back to coaching for me.
And now they have a big task up in. So they were down 28-0 and they ended up losing 42-28 to your point. And then now that leads them into a huge game against Georgia next week, number 4 Georgia. Now, we're looking ahead a little bit. Now, maybe that's what, to your point, maybe that's what they were looking ahead to.
That's what
perhaps. I'm saying. But they also had a loss against North Carolina State just a couple of weeks ago that they lost against. So it's one of those ones where who had Georgia Tech really played? They played Clemson to start the season, which at the beginning, remember, this was at the beginning of the the crash out by Dabo Sweeney. I think just like week 3, they beat them, the upset, so forth and so on. And then after that, they played Temple, Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, Duke, Syracuse. They lost to North Carolina State. They beat Boston College. They lose to a pretty good Pitt team, which is now 8-3, and now Georgia. So really, they may have, to your point, we're looking past Pitt and was like, yeah, we got Georgia, but now it throws in, the possibility. Now they got 2 conference losses. You gotta win against Georgia to make it look right, because if you end up being tied with UVA or even Miami at this point, the odds of you getting into the playoff is not good.
I don't know about it mattering anyway, because this is what I was saying last week. Those teams that are like 8 through 12, they're in trouble. Yeah, because even if you win, you don't only have to win against teams like this. You got to win convincingly.
Yes,
because you got a team like I mentioned last week, like Vanderbilt, that is ready to go.
Yeah,
they went into the week ranked 14. They beat Kentucky 45-17. You know what I mean? Like, how do you not tell them that they don't deserve the jump?
Right.
Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
They're
the style points. I feel like we're back in the BCS era. Remember when it was all about the BCS and it was all about style points? It wanted who played whatever. Like, hey, you had a team out there and say, look, man, hey, we need to put up 64 on them to make us look good. And then that was in the minds of the voters. And now it seemed like a little bit of that has kind of come into to play. So it's gonna be interesting to see on the
quarterback threw for almost 500 yards, bro.
Yeah,
5 touchdowns, 33 or 39. Like, I want to see that in the playoff.
Yeah, yeah. So. Now I'll tell you this though: the odds of it happening, not knowing, but this is still college, and weird things can happen. But they go in there and somehow upset Georgia in a way to where it's not like a fluke fumble upset, but they go in there, let's say Georgia looking past Georgia Tech. We good, we got them. And all of a sudden, because Georgia Tech does have that triple option offense. Next thing you know, they're running back to put up 250.
Oh, they beat Georgia, they're probably in.
Right. And that's the thing. Now, that is hopefully that's not something that they're thinking about, because now you'll forget how to coach the game. Like, hey, just go out there and play the game. Don't just let the chips fall where they may. In that regard,
that's the difference in those dominant conferences, because I told you also last week, like, I don't feel hugely confident in Michigan, but if Michigan beats Ohio State again, and they only got 2 losses in a conference like the Big Ten, how do you sit back and say they should be on the outside looking in over some of the teams that you're going to put in?
I'm glad you said that. So let's go right over there. So you got the game. The game is coming up. Ohio State, Michigan. Of course, Ohio State ran through Rutgers in this case, and then of course Michigan over Maryland, which real quick, a couple of years ago, we were talking about Maryland looked like they were on a rise. So, we thought, and then something happened. I don't know what happened, but something happened. So I guess that's a conversation for another day. But Ohio State, Michigan, a year that you yourself not really impressed with your Michigan squad. They winning games that they ain't supposed to win. But We know what happens when Ohio State
different game.
and Michigan play. And Michigan hasn't been talked about specifically in the college football playoff all year, really, for the most part. And maybe at the beginning of the season when y'all were ranked like pretty high, right? I think they started.
Yeah, but we shouldn't have been.
Right. I got you.
Yeah.
You know how they do this. I mean, hell, Miami was ranked there too at one point, and you see what time it is. But they go in and Michigan, puts belt to ass on Ohio State. What does that do for Ohio State's college football playoff spot? And what does that do for Michigan's college football playoff spot?
Let's go through a couple of things. First off, if Michigan upsets Ohio State again, because that's what it'll be. It'll be an upset.
Yeah.
Forget all the other things you just asked about.
Right.
What is up with Ryan Day's psyche?
Oh, he getting fired.
Because the only thing that saved him last year was what? He won the chip.
Yeah.
If he would have done anything else, even make it to the championship, if they would have lost, I don't think you would have saw him this year.
Yeah.
Because Ohio State doesn't stand for their coaches losing to Michigan.
Yes.
You could probably lose half your games throughout the season. And if you constantly beat Michigan, you might have a shot. Remember, it was the same way, vice versa, on our side with Harbaugh. People forget before that chip, Harbaugh was about to get fired.
Very much.
I don't care what dealings he was making and stuff like that. He was about to get fired.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't beat who? He couldn't beat Ohio State.
The games that matter.
Specifically Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
He couldn't beat him.
Yeah.
Then Ryan Day takes over, and all of a sudden, here we go. No matter what you want to talk about and sign stealings and all that type of stuff, they couldn't beat him. And then last year was the big one where there was no way we were expected to be in that game. And we beat them again. And that's where they were just like, oh, yeah, he's probably out the door. And then all of a sudden he wants the chip. Mm-hmm. That's what saved him. It's one of those type of deals, man. Like that game is that important. If you are consistently losing that game at any time, you can be out. That's really where it's at. And some of these players, mind you, specifically from Ohio State, came back this year to beat Michigan. Think about how big that is. They won the chip. They could have left. And they were like, nah, I don't want that NFL pay. We need to come back and beat
because you want that sour taste in your mouth, man. You just don't want it, man. It's one of those things.
It's different.
Since we're talking about it, man, let's put it up right here. And this is according to ESPN how they would the projected playoff with the 4 top teams having buys, that being Ohio State, Indiana, Texas, and Georgia, and then of course the folks in the first rounds. I didn't put the matchup specifically because you never know how it goes, but you got Texas Tech, Ole Miss, Oregon, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Alabama, again, BYU, and Utah.
Alabama always finds a way.
Yeah, they do. And I believe what I'm looking at is that Notre Dame spot is they're taking the ACC spot, if I'm correct on this. Yeah. That would be Notre Dame sitting in the ACC spot because no one else in this thing is in the ACC. Am I looking at this correctly? Did I do that correctly? That projection is wild because, that's what they projected. So I think Notre Dame will be in the ACC spot.
But just know a lot of this is subject to change, though.
It is. Because at one point, they had JMU sitting in there. You had UVA sitting in there. There's no telling how this is going to go. And I think you might have brought up the conversation before. Maybe it was offline. I remember we were talking about, what is Notre Dame's spot in this? And is it a little too late for Notre Dame to make this because I feel like they hadn't been talked about not much since the beginning of the season. And maybe that's because
they've been such a big school could fly under the radar.
Right.
That's what they felt like they've done this year.
Yeah.
When Freeman first came in, that was the talk of the town. Yeah. This year, while they're still ranked and everything like that, highly ranked, they kind of flew underneath the radar.
They did.
They did. And that might have been a good thing for them, to be honest with you.
I don't. It's interesting how this is playing out because, as I pull up the the ACC standings and trying to figure out who's going to potentially be where representing that particular conference. And what I didn't see, and that's why I was right. Like I'm looking at I think there was a projection missing on that. This is off of ESPN, so thank you, ESPN. UVA, right now being the tops, but in that conference alone, you have 3 teams with 1 loss: UVA, Pitt, and SMU. UVA being ranked number 19. And of course, you have the ACC championship coming, but it's we're gonna see, because lingering out there is still the number 13. I have that with fingers, quote unquote, air quotes. Miami still sitting out there, so it's a possibility at the end of the year we could be looking at the Hurricanes sitting in the college football playoff, because they have a spot in this case. So we're going to see how that goes for them. Any other teams that stand out to you right now as far as what they're doing to, one, forget the playoff? It's like, I know on the NFL side, we talk about surprising teams. Any team that surprised you this year collegiately, good or bad?
I mean, we got called to the carpet. Colorado.
Yeah, we were thinking the same thing.
I gotta be real. I know a lot's going on that has nothing to do with football. So let me just put that disclaimer out.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna be on that sideline, we gotta call you to the carpet. And this is not year number 1. And this is what I told you I was afraid of in the first place. It's one thing to pull in, the people that you already know, a Travis Hunter, your son, people like that, certain wide receivers that are already playing with, stuff like that. But when you got to really pull it in yourself and establish that offensive line, and you're pulling in these picks, they're switching over. Yeah, you got to show it. It's all in the results, not the talk, but it's in the results. And I switched it back around on somebody like Primetime. He ain't gonna talk that much if he was playing like that in real life,
right? Yeah.
So they look abysmal, man. Like they I don't even know. I don't even want to see a game. It just seems so off.
Yeah.
So off. And I ain't even just saying like they ain't got the players and stuff like that. It just seems like in disarray. And that's where, with all this stuff that's going on outside of football, I really think that this should have been a year mentally and health-wise where Deion should have sat to the side and just got himself together. Yeah. I know he has that hunger to be on that sideline with these kids and build up this program, but it's one of those things where, compared to like parenting and stuff like that, or even a relationship, you can't help out the other people unless you help out who? Yourself. Yeah. And he ain't well. He ain't well. That motivation ain't there. That prime time, that shine, that word, it's not there. Yeah. Even in the like the interviews afterwards and stuff like that, it's not there. It's like a shell. And I'm just like, yeah, I really for the university. I know they need them there in that sense. They're on the revenue side of things, but I'm not telling you to cut them off. But look out for your interest even in the long run if you want to keep it on the money side of things. Tell that man that everybody knows what's going on with them health-wise alone, that he needs to take some time. Dude, you went through a divorce. I don't care what you think of their split and stuff. That always hurts. Yeah. That always hurts. Yeah. You went through a divorce. You went through now your kids not being right there with you on a 24/7 basis. You're going through health problems. You're going through a team that you're stumbling to be out there for, and they're not showing up. What is going right? And that's why I said it's not just the physical, it's the mental. Because I know his competitive nature. I know it's eating at him. And he feels like if he steps to the side, he'll be losing too. And I'm just like, sometimes it's better to just take time. Take time.
The thing that, and everything you said about it is right. Another thing that I don't see, and it's something that I questioned early on, was the ability to motivate and everything else. But do you have the ability to develop players, and that's the one thing that you don't see. Prime had the ability to, because he had Shador, it's his son, so he had him all through school. He brought in Travis Hunter when they was at Jackson State, so he had that time to develop a lot of these players that they brought with them. So they have that now. You're in the space now where you got the transfer portal and all this, so you don't have all of those years stacked up to really have that cohesion. And two, even the staff, like I think there's, to your point, there's so many things happening to where maybe he should have stood away, because I don't even see any, like, who is his Shamar, I forget you guys' coach name in Michigan. Is it Shamar Stewart? Did I say his name right? Who's you guys' head coach? I forgot your head coach in Michigan.
Shoot, I forget his last
I said Shamar. So I don't know why that name popped up in my head. Shamar Moore, right? So
wait a minute. Make sure, because this is the one out of there anyway.
Yeah. Some of the best colleges, best run college.
Sharon Moore,
my bad.
Sharon
Moore. I'm sorry,
sir. Don't worry.
Some of the best run college teams, specifically in football, they have a staff that they have that cohesion where they're being developed. One guy may start just in the film room, and he's working his way up to doing, offensive play call assistant or whatever case may be. These things in there, maybe that is going on in Colorado or something like that. I don't know. Maybe you got graduated players who comes back. They're a graduate assistant or something like that. They're working their way. Are they building like that in Colorado? I don't see it. Like, to your point, I tried to watch the game just to see him, because I've actually been watching Jackson State games as well, who just won the SWAC. So congratulations to Jackson State University, who won the SWAC this year. But I don't see the growth in the team. And man, they look, we're just 1 year removed from having Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders and a few more guys in Colorado, bro.
Yeah.
They look apps, and it looks like all the other teams in their conference got better, and Colorado clearly got worse. And I don't know if there's any amount of money, if they have that type of money, to offer those top tier players. Does Deion go out and capture or steal another Travis Hunter from a Florida State type? I don't know. I don't. When was the last primetime game, or that spotlight game that Colorado has had? Like it's
that
almost,
Florida thing may be changing around too, because I call another person to the carpet.
Yeah,
Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
What you gonna do, bro?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you staying? Are you going?
Yeah.
Are you staying at Ole Miss? Place that you turned around? Are you going to Florida? Are you going to LSU? Are you going to the NFL? Like, what are you doing?
Have they not learned their lessons with Lane Kiffin? Because didn't he, if I'm correct, he was going to take what job was it he was going to take, and he decided to go somewhere else. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if it was the Colts job or was it college, but if I recall, and I know Gary's watching, so you can correct me, sir, if my details are, but I swear that Lane Kiffin was up for a particular football job. I can't remember if it was collegiate or pros, and he turned around and was like, "Nah, I'm going to go do something else." I don't know. I know Josh McDaniels did that in New England, if I'm correct, but I thought Lane Kiffin was in that same boat. Like he was mad wishy-washy. But yeah, what are you going to do? LSU is offering them upwards. I believe the contract was somewhere around 70 million, 80 million, something like a stupid number. You're going to get the talent. Ole Miss ain't LSU. Tell you what it is. LSU going to offer that bread. Florida, those two positions, you're going to get the talent. What are you going to do? But my next question is, ain't no other coaches out there? Why they keep recycling the same coaches? Like, have you guys now? We said it last week. Head coach from JMU now has the number 2 team in the nation in Indiana. Right now, the current coach at JMU, they're looking at potentially hiring him out UCLA. There are coaches out there. I just need these organizations to stop being lazy as hell and just recycling these same folks and getting the same thing, because you still, who's been the last few people who won the national championships? You got Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, Alabama. Did I miss anybody? I don't think no one else has won a chip over the last, 10 years outside of those 4 schools. Michigan, Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama. That's been pretty much what they've been doing that entire time. So I don't see how that they have not learned to, hey, we need to get outside the box a little bit. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Hope Colorado turns it around, to say the least, but we don't know how that's going to go at the end of the day. Any other team before we jump over to the pro side?
Nah, that's where I'm at. You already know how I feel about Vandy, so I don't need to talk about it every year, every week. I should say.
Yeah. It's we're gonna see. We're gonna see how this thing goes. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna make sure we'll be paying attention to the bowl projection this week. That's why, he's fired from Oakland. Okay, yeah, he did. Okay, it was Josh McDaniels who backed out of the Colts. I know I was somewhere around there. Thanks for keeping me in line, sir. Let's jump on over to the NFL side, man, and see what we got going on. First, of course, as always, we got to recap our Thursday night game.
You know what? Hold on.
Before we do that, go ahead. We got it. Go ahead.
Before we jump into there, I'm trying to find it because it deals with college, but it deals with sports in general.
Yeah.
And if anybody can think of the team that did, I believe it was, I want to say Colorado State.
Okay.
We have another spitting incident, bro. Like, I'm so done. I'm so done. Like, is this a thing now? Because I'm telling you, let's take the helmets off and let's just handle it.
Oh, it's a problem.
It's
done. A dead ass problem.
And this was something I want to make sure I get it right. I believe it was Colorado State football. Let me just say. But whatever it was someone going back and forth, and then once again, it's clear as day. You just see the person spit. And I'm just like, was it?
Colorado State. Yep. College football quarterback facing major punishment after spitting on opponent. Darius Curry.
Done.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? So it's trickling from NFL to college to everywhere. Oh, was it Boise State?
No, it was against Boise State. So it was Colorado State.
Okay.
Yeah, it was against Boise State. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's one of those things where people buck up when their boys are around.
Yeah.
But if you were in front of that person by yourself, you wouldn't say a word. You wouldn't say one word, or the Instagram thugs or something like that. Like, that's what I compare it to. We got helmets on, the ref is around us, our teammates are around us. So you're going to spit. That's what you're going to do. And if I react, I'm out.
Hey,
so
I'm with Kaleo. Right in the gut, brother. Right in the gut.
Yeah, we're going to have a huge problem. Huge problem. So I don't know. I'm sorry. Before you switched over, I just had to get that because I saw it and I was like, nah, this must be a thing now.
It really is something where I don't know where that comes from, man. Like, I really don't. Like, in regular life, like, you spit on me, I'm just letting you know right now. Just go ahead and get the bail money, because I'm going to it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. And we don't want to promote violence, but the level of disrespect in that regard is crazy. If the man got the better of you in that moment, hey, what you're gonna do is, on the football field, see your get back is okay, that next play or something like that. But spitting on anyone, bro, just is the lowest form, in my opinion, of disrespect to somebody. And I don't understand how people think it's okay. Like, I don't. And that point now, that will get you set down. I don't care what game it is in the year. For me as a coach, a former coach, one of my players do that. Just let you know, it's game 1 and we got 11 games. Hey, bro, I'll see you next year. We have a conversation, because you just show them. I don't have time to sit down and for you to explain to me why. I'm sorry, coach. My emotions just got the best of me. Nah. It's no different than, we didn't talk about it last week, but that state trooper or cop doing that South Carolina game, and the 2 players are coming back out of the tunnel there. I guess he ran off
purposely. Yeah,
he purposely ran into him.
Yeah.
And I don't recall seeing any type of apology from him. I know it's from his department and stuff like that, but it makes you think, hey, what are you doing when someone's not? It shows a lot about your character.
You do what you can get away with.
Yeah, it's all about your character, man.
That we're in.
Yeah,
you do what you can get away with. And shout out to Jay right there. I see you with the tag on there. So free shout out, free publicity here. Shout out to A's Handyman and Home Improvement LLC, the owner. Jay, one of our listeners himself. Yeah. Shout out to you guys, Sync Solutions. I hope I said that all right.
Yeah, it's just good. Let's go ahead and bring in the third part of our Voltron mechanic here, the one and only Master Earl. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Morning.
You walked in right as we was about to wrap up the college side, and Dave pointed out the quarterback for Colorado State, Darius Curry, spitting on a Boise State player during the game, and why all of a sudden this is all right. It's not okay, but all of a sudden that's what we're doing now. It's which I don't know if you got anything on that. You ain't got to comment if you don't, because I know how this conversation can turn into rage, and all of a sudden we forget that we're doing a football talk show.
I mean, I just want to let it be known, not to say that. Excuse me, man. I'm eating my food, but not to say that it's nothing new. All right, spitting has been happening.
Yeah,
I think now what's happening though is that you got cameras
everywhere at all times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's being caught, but even I don't care wherever you was in. I mean, that's the ultimate form of disrespect. You know what I'm saying? And it's like Mike Tomlin said, disrespect would be met with disrespect.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Look, I've been pissed at some people.
Yeah.
Going blows with some people. Never thought about spitting on them, bro. Yeah. Just never even crossed my mind to spit on somebody. So that's why I'm just like, where's your mind going? Where that's the first thing that you think to do. Yeah.
That's just no. Imagine if an offensive lineman back in the day spit on Lawrence Taylor. Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, it says a lot about how you was your morals and how you was brought up and stuff.
Man. Yeah, man. That's crazy. Let's get into some football side, man, because they're gonna piss me off otherwise. I know somebody might have been pissed off Thursday night. Bills at Texans. I think every Buffalo Bill fan is probably pissed off right now looking at their Buffalo Bills. We called this, we said this, and I had to make sure that I reposted the video that we talked about. And the Bills, man, they were playing with fire, and I think they are now officially burned. They allowed that window on their hopes and dreams to close. They had the opportunity to do so. And it wasn't, early on, it wasn't Josh Allen. Josh Allen had been doing this thing. We had the infamous, 14-second game when they played against the Chiefs. Josh Allen didn't lose that game. The defense did. And then you had other games where he's been balling out through the year, through the playoffs, MVP, so forth and so on. But it hasn't been him who let his team down. It's been the team who let him down when it came in those crucial moments. This year, they can't stop the run. And this year, apparently, they forgot that DeMeco Ryans was a really good defensive coordinator. So much so that the Houston Texans defense, which is the number one defense in the league, 8 sacks. They were fast to the football. Their offensive line for the Buffalo Bills head was they could not block nobody. Josh Allen threw 2 interceptions. He was running for his life. They were hitting, bro. And it was one of those games where it reminded me of the Baltimore Ravens defense in 2000 when, the defense got, just get us, 21 points offense, and we got everything else. And they were laying the wood to them. What would you guys take from that Thursday night game? This does put Houston in the playoff hunt.
So let me jump into this because, like you said last week, I went on a rant about the Bills.
Yeah.
Didn't think that this was going to happen, so I ain't going to tell you I'm no Nostradamus out here. But I definitely didn't see what everybody else was seeing as far as how dominant they thought the Bills were going to be.
Yeah.
Especially after Josh Allen's last performance before this game. So I'm going to go back to what I mentioned in the very beginning. Coaching. You saw the difference between two separate coaches. Did I not mention last week about McDermott? And I was like, I never talked about on the hot seat, but I'm like, how? If you got this team that you say you got, I don't see them going where they need to go. So why are you not called to the carpet? And then you don't make the moves to get you over that hump. So why are you not called to the carpet?
Exactly.
On the other side of things, I mean, you would have thought that their coaches, I'm not just going to say DeMeco Ryans, the whole coaching staff was playing in the game.
Oh, yeah.
That's energy from that sideline if you were paying attention.
For sure.
It came off as a college game because that was the enthusiasm. There was no money involved, no nothing. It was just straight, we're going to come out there and punish you. We're going to beat you down. That's what we're going to do. We're going to wear you out. And everybody's, I mean, the water board was ready to get on the field. Like they were ready, bro.
Yes,
they were ready. And I loved the energy that came off. And the most impressive thing, who did they do it without?
CJ. They did it without CJ.
That energy
without
different.
CJ.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Receiving core going and all that stuff. And it's just
I think it's also worthy to note that, and this is the reality. The Bills aren't as good as they were. Josh Allen is still Josh Allen. But like Dave was saying, the Bills aren't as good as what they were. And I ain't gonna lie, I feel like it started taking a shift when they let Diggs go. That showed that it was a overwhelming difference. They got receivers, but I don't think they have the caliber of receivers that they thought that they had. Because Keon Coleman on the sideline. Keon Coleman is immature. You know what I'm saying? The boy is talented, but he's immature. You know what I'm saying? Shakir ain't consistent enough. You got this is when you know, no disrespect to him, when you got Curtis Samuels like having a day. You know, Palmer ain't nothing but a 2 or 3. Like they don't have no like they got a bunch of support receivers. You know, Kincaid was out, so you got Knox.
Why aren't you pressing for like an AJ Brown situation?
Because they feel like they have enough. And I think it's also calling the question too with the coach. Where it's like, how much longer are we gonna do this? Like, because I don't see them. I don't see them getting past like no real competition this year. You know, so
and here's the crazy part with that. They had an okay day offensively. Shakur had 8 catches, about 110 yards. James Cook over 100 yards rushing.
This is their best performance.
Yeah, I'll take that. But they defensively, their defense is not good in Buffalo at all. They are not good. They're opportunistic, if anything.
They have Von Miller.
Yeah, right. And then to your point about Keon Coleman, that whole situation appears to be just blowing up. He's been set down 2 games in a row, and even then, they drafted him. I loved him. I wanted him in Washington, because I loved his play when he was at Florida State, but they drafted him for the wrong position. Keon Coleman is not a true X receiver, is what they want. You know, your X receiver. That you talking about your George Pickens of the world. Those guys that they can get out there. They got 3 routes. They're running like a deep route. They running like that comeback route, or them slants, something like that. You know, they can beat them off the line. There we go. That ain't Keon game, and so much so he's more of a slot guy. His hands are just like they are in Madden, because I have him on my Madden team and the Raiders, and his hands just be like this, hands like feet. And it's showing that in what's going on off the field. not showing up to team meetings and stuff like that too. That goes back to the, what type of respect do you have for the coach that's there? If you're willing to do that.
Let me say this too, and this is not just a knock on Josh Allen. This is a knock on a lot of scrambling quarterbacks that just think that they could do something extra all the time. And you're in the NFL with 300+ pounders that run speeds that are unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
When you're outside the pocket, please don't take the sack.
Mm-hmm.
Like it kills a whole drive. You lose like 15 yards. Throw the ball out of bounds. As long as you get it past the line, the scrimmage, you're good. And it's like sometimes it comes to the end of these games and they're scrambling back and forth and they're running backwards 10, 15 yards. And you need that drive to score. You need to put something on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And how many times do we see 15, 20 yards behind the line, getting sacked, ran around for about 10 seconds? That's why I always get mad about, like, when I see sometimes when Shador even plays, I see him run, I'm just like, dude, just let go of the ball. That's why I say it's not just a Josh Allen thing. And he's not even a scrambling quarterback. A lot of times they get so much in their head. I'm just like, dude, you got another down. just throw the ball out. Throw it out of bounds. Throw it out of bounds. So
I need what I do need for Houston to do, because we were talking about the Bills, the Texans, they showed up and showed out. Their defense did.
Man,
they really need to not do what Buffalo is doing. Buffalo has they had that offense humming for a while, and they're in the AFC Championship game, and now it's falling off, and now that window. Houston has I would love that. All of us would love that defense. The Giants have a good defense, but that Houston defense is different. Hell, we know we need that shit in Washington. Yes, that part. What they need to do in Houston is they got to get that offense right in Houston. Your offensive line, so you can protect your quarterback who is out. Because right now they're not sure when CD is going to come back. Because as good as Houston played, I'm sorry, but Davis Mills and his long ass neck was about to give that ball away, give that game away a few times. He literally averaged 5 yards per pass, 50% throwing.
But
it was rough. The defense bailed him out.
You can feel Silas that he ain't your back. He's just your backup.
Yeah.
You know
Got it. But he's your backup because you can't protect your starter, because your offensive line is not good at all. Like they got to get that right. Otherwise, you're going to look up, and now you got to pay all these guys because they're gonna get paid. You got to pay all these guys in Houston, and that's a lot of money, especially when you're talking about edge rushers. You're talking about corners. You're talking about those two alone. They're going to demand a pretty penny, to say the least. And as of right now, I think the Bills will be in the playoffs, but as far as them being in their division, New England, and I think they got a date with Indianapolis at some point, I believe. It ain't looking too good of what they got going on in Buffalo at all. Elsewhere around the NFL, because I kind of I guess I teed it up now. You got a really good matchup, and we'll pick our picks once we get to that point. You got Chiefs and Colts today. Chiefs right now are outside looking in, and the Colts now, after taking a really bad loss against the Steelers, where they had 6 turnovers that day. Daniel Jones turned back to a pumpkin a little bit. Do the Colts go in, and what are the Chiefs right now, and what are the Colts? I asked that question. What are the Chiefs in you guys' eyes, and what are the Colts in your eyes, based off of their loss and based off of the struggles of the Chiefs this year?
Well, I think the Chiefs, the Colts have exceeded expectations, so the Colts are okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody expected them to be where they're at. I mean, just remember all the way up until week 1, they didn't know who their starting quarterback was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They drafted somebody to be the franchise. He wasn't that. Then you kind of took another. I don't even want to disrespect them and be like a has-been, but you just took another one who had a question mark, and it actually worked out. You know, and they had a good offense. You have weapons on your offense, all young, no big names over there outside of, I'm talking about receiver wise. I mean, Pittman is cool, but if you really look at the numbers, Pittman ain't even really the number one receiver over there. You know what I'm saying? I think it's Warren or Downs. I mean, not Downs, Pierce. But you know, and then the defense is formidable. You know, so it's like I think they've exceeded expectations. Now with the Chiefs, the only person that's been playing the way that has been consistent has been Pat Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? And I think the Chiefs played themselves. They got a whole bunch of nothing until Reese came back. Travis Kelce is old. You know what I'm saying? I think he need to really have a sit down and really decide like what he want to do going forward. And then two, I look at the Chiefs like I look at the Bills. Their defense is not to the caliber of what it used to be. And it's not the coaching. It's the personnel. You know what I'm saying? I think the coaching is keeping them in stuff, but they need to really put more emphasis on, you know, getting the right personnel. I think they've really been like kind of riding on the coattails of Pat Mahomes, and it's coming to bite them.
I want to pick up exactly where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I was going. It's very similar to the Bills, not realizing where your deficit is, not realizing where your weakness is, because it's shadowed by, in the Bills' case, Josh Allen. In this case, Patrick Mahomes. Now, here's the similarity to it in that sense. I told you the Bills need to go grab somebody, right? On that offensive side. On that defensive side, Chiefs definitely need to go grab somebody. Shoot, even on the offensive side, they're not protecting Mahomes. It's getting killed. And they proved that in the playoffs before, in the Super Bowl. You know, he's getting killed. And I don't care how talented you are as a quarterback, you need time. Because what happens is that clock starts ticking. It's that almighty quarterback clock. And ask Eli about it. You would see him counting in his head. All right, 1, 2, I'm going down. Nobody even had to touch him. Like, he just went down. Mahomes has that clock going off. That one guy, what's his name, that jumps off every single goddamn
the left tackle, like, right tackle, I think it is.
Taylor, I think his last name is, or something like that.
Jawan Taylor, something like that. I think it is. It might be.
He jumps off sides. He lines up off sides every single time, and he jumps off every single time. Like, it is horrible. But yet he still has that position. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, how do you rely on that? I know you go back and look at the tape, and he's looking at the tape. And now I'm going in my mind like, oh man, this person can't handle him. You go up against a team with like Myles Garrett coming around that edge, like, I know I'm about to get punished. Like, it just is what it is. And that's what happens. How don't you make a move? If it is true, how didn't you bring a Breece Hall in there if we're talking between the difference of a third rounder and fourth rounder?
Let me pick up right there, Dave. Is it just me, or does it feel like Kansas City is unable to attract like top tier talent to the team? Think about it.
Are they looking for it though?
That too, yeah. Like, but it seems like no one's like clamoring to go to Kansas City. And then when they do look for it, my biggest issue with them is every receiver that they draft, they're all little. They seem little-ish. They draft. I know you want speed, yes, but they don't have any big body receivers outside of Travis Kelce. You know, they had that. No more. They had that experiment they had with D-Hop, right? I think D-Hop went out there.
Yeah.
But D-Hop is well past his prime. Like, it feels like to me, and I could be wrong, they can't attract these free agents to go to Kansas City. And outside of the way that they structure,
which is crazy because you got Mahomes throwing to you.
And it's not like they're paying him top tier. You know, that contract that they did for Pat, is one that on his face was like it's a $500 million contract.
He made a player friendly one because
exactly
he'll move his money around.
Exactly.
If you bringing in the right person.
Exactly. He's not getting the Dak Prescott $60 million a year. I think Pat's somewhere like 40 something million or something like that. He's not even those top tier ones. So I'm like, why can't they attract
money?
Probably. They didn't attract the Breece Hall. You couldn't get. I don't. And Spags does what he does on defense. He does what he does. But to Earl's point, those guys outside of paying Chris Jones 2 years ago, Chris Jones hasn't been front of mind to me. The offense, Travis Kelce. That's all I know, bro. Like everybody else, they just a bunch of fill-in guys, and the offense at times look like it's.
But I think they played to the fact of we got Mahomes and we're going to be able to figure it out. And that's why I said, remember, it was a couple seasons ago when they started letting go of people and not paying them on that offensive line. Yeah. Their offensive line used to be legit. And that's when Mahomes was going off. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they were just like, oh, okay, we got Mahomes. It doesn't really matter. We don't have to pay no attention here. No, that ain't it. Yeah. That ain't it.
And it's finally kind of caught up. That team is caught up. I think for the longest time, teams would play against Kansas City. And teams that on paper that were better than Kansas City. Hell, Buffalo was better than Kansas City. But what would happen? The coaches on the sideline will crap their pants, make idiotic decisions, and allow Kansas City to stick around, and they end up blowing that game for the longest time. And now it's biting them.
Hey, real quick, just because I know he's watching and everything. A couple weeks ago, a certain person mentioned to me that we're going to mess this thing on up. We're going to mess it up, the certain situation. Jay, what are y'all doing, man? Why are y'all winning games?
He called it, though.
like, are y'all keeping McDaniels? Like, is this what's happening? Is Tua the future again? Like, I don't know. What is going on with Miami?
That is, speaking of Mike McDaniel, that is one, as a head coach, it might be a little bit too big for his britches. But as an OC,
I'll take it
there are
as
teams
OC in a second.
They can use him. They could use him
as an OC. I'll take as an OC. We always talk about that. That I will take as coordinators way before taking them as any thought of a head coach.
Yeah. Hey, Cleveland Browns, because we're gonna talk about you next. Get a new head coach, and Mike McDaniel might be available to be an OC. Look at that. Look at that. Let's talk about them right now. Again, Jay, I don't know what y'all doing out in Miami because y'all are winning. Washington is clearly losing. Thank you. I appreciate you for that pick. We got Cleveland and we got the Raiders, and we now have the starting of one Shedeur Sanders for the first time in a game that really counts. A week of practice. I know we all have heard all of the back and forth ad nauseum, but let me say this on these live streaming airways. I'm gonna give it to you guys. I'm gonna make it short and sweet because I listen to, like you guys, I listen to a lot of my favorite, analysts and I don't know. That's Dave. That's Earl side. That's Earl side. A lot of my favorite pundits and podcast hosts and stuff like that I've been listening to for eons. And I will say, without calling out their names, to be blindly ignorant of what has gone on with Shedeur Sanders and to just sit on your own laurels and say, well, I just didn't think he was that good, considering that all he did in college, you're full of shit. You're placating to whoever is cashing your checks or paying your checks or whatever. You're full of shit. If you're even the most uninformed football fan sees what happened. And now you're looking at it now, it's clear. You can miss us with all the, hey, he was the 5th round pick. He was the 4th string on our quarterback. That's why he didn't get reps, so forth and so on. Yes, it's up to Shedeur to do his due diligence to make sure he do his thing, but he needs these things. He needs to know. that they did this right. Cleveland clearly messed up that entire quarterback room, but there's nobody to even mentor these guys. But yeah, for anyone to not see that fix was in a long time ago, you're full of shit. And I'll tell you why. 5th round pick, usually a 5th round quarterback, those guys end up landing on somebody's practice squad. They're a developmental guy. They really are. At one point, Shedeur was like the fifth man on the roster because they had Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, who they picked in the 3rd round, Flacco. They still had buddy, what his name? That Deshaun Watson. I know he ain't playing, whatever. That money's the whole thing. But Shadeur's already, if he's a 5th round pick, put him on your practice squad. If you really thought that he wasn't going to play. They had not done that all year. You trade away a 3rd round pick to get Kenny Pickett, I believe, to send him away. You trade away Joe Flacco. What are you doing? And then you draft a quarterback in the 3rd round, which should not win in the 3rd round. So the fix is there. But what is really happening is he still has one of the highest selling jerseys in the league.
My thing is treating the situation as you've been treating it. Even if you were playing it the way you did, why wouldn't you trade him out for something before that trade deadline?
Yeah.
Because there's teams that I think would have went out there and said, okay, you know what? Let's just give this a try. Why wouldn't they?
I think because low key, they know what he could be. And I think they just I don't think they don't want to run the risk of let him fall into the hands of somebody else and then he turning into something what they could be. There's a few people in there that know what they could be.
If you're not going to play him to the sense and coach him up to the sense,
I agree.
You're about to run into the same situation this same offseason. What are you going to do? You got a losing team. You're going to have a top pick and you're going to have quarterbacks out there. What, now you're going to bring in 3 young guys?
I promise you I agree. I promise you I agree.
What are we doing?
You're absolutely right, because there's a quarterback that, yes, has a championship, a national championship, but he was not even, and Dave know where I'm going, he was not even the main reason why they won that championship. That's J.J. McCarthy, and he went in the 1st round. The 1st round. Correct. But you put his stats next up to Shedeur. Yes, I know Shedeur was playing in Colorado, but they were still both throwing the football. And
he was hardly throwing, but
yeah. But as of right now, J.J. McCarthy, they like, buddy, the way they breaking him down, and he has probably one of the best quarterback coaches, head coach, offensive coordinators in the entire league in KOC. Of what they doing up in Minnesota, the way that they help rebuild quarterbacks, and they might be out on J.J. McCarthy.
Why wouldn't the Raiders take him? Why wouldn't
they got Chip Kelly down? Yeah.
Why
I would go to the Cardinals.
No. I don't know about going there, but I'm telling you, these are teams. I'm just like, because it's all about, hey, how much would I really have to give up to just take a shot and look at this guy?
Yeah.
Because I'm talking about teams. Think about it. Going to the Raiders, you have some people there that if he came in and he was just looking okay, it's like, okay, maybe we wouldn't have to worry about pulling in a quarterback with our top picks. We're already bad, but it's the Giants situation. Take it to the Giants. The Giants, bad record, going to have a high pick. But I'm going to feel fine about that because I feel the Giants should trade back because I already feel we have a quarterback. Other teams need to jump up. Let's get multiple picks. We need to stack. Some of these other teams, if they were able to trade in for Shedeur and he looked okay with some of the other people they have in spots, you're going to have a top pick. You could do the same thing and stack. All you got to do is find that quarterback, some type of resemblance of it, and you change your whole drafting perspective. But if you're going into that all season and you got a Dylan Gabriel and you got a Shedeur that you don't play, you see what I'm saying? And you trade it off of Flacco within the division.
And your offensive line is bad. You don't know what's going on with Shawn. It's bad. It's absolutely bad.
Put all this money towards Myles Garrett. Probably going to be defensive player of the year. And he's just sitting there. So you got a defense out there, but you're looking at the same exact thing. We've been saying the same thing about the Browns how many years now?
At least the last 5.
At least. Same exact thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just like, yeah, you got to make moves. You got to figure it out. And there's teams that I think that they could have made a move with.
Yeah, I don't get how.
Why wouldn't the Jets bring them in? Like, come on, man.
I literally don't understand how Cleveland is a real football organization. I really don't. Like, I literally.
But
it does not
on the hot seat.
He's not. I don't even know what's happening. Like,
coach of the year.
Like they're only in their name is only being spoken about right now in Cleveland is because one, they have an all-world defender in Myles Garrett, and then they probably have the most famous fifth-round receiver, quarterback that's been drafted in the last few years. That's why you're talking about him. That's really it. That's really why you're talking about him, because against your point, they got a championship caliber defense. They've had that for a few years, to your point. A few years ago, they had a championship built, with Nick Chubb and all those guys. They had a squad. They went to the playoffs.
Dual-headed running machine.
Right.
You pick them every single week in fantasy football.
There you go. All year.
Every single week.
They just didn't have a quarterback. And they kind of had a quarterback, but now that quarterback is down in Tampa Bay.
Now your star receiver is Jerry Jeudy.
Right.
That's what
I feel like Jerry Jeudy been in the league for 15 years because I feel like he was with Denver for like 10 or something. Like, I feel like he's been here for a long time. But in any case, man, the Browns are going up against the Raiders today. And this is going to be, and it is what it is, man. This is going to, unfortunately and unfairly, probably, this is going to make or break what is said about Shedeur going into next year. If he goes out now,
neither team knows where they're going.
Right. But here's the thing, though. The worst thing that can happen in this game is, yes, I know they're going against a Raiders defense that's not good, but they do got Max Crosby. And then I think you talked about it. Shedeur holding on to the ball. If Shedeur goes out here and because, we only saw him for like a quarter or so in that preseason game. Shedeur goes out there and puts up really, really good numbers and looks good today. Everybody could be looking at the Cleveland Browns is like, what were y'all doing, bro? What were you doing? Because you have to have that conversation because they're having that conversation about the next team we're about to talk about, which is the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys ran roughshod over the Raiders, and now the next thing we're going to be talking about how good their offense is.
Well, hold on, real quick. I feel like it's a lose. It's a lose. I don't want to say lose, but it's a lose no game. So, like, for Shedeur.
Okay.
If he don't do good today, they're going to be like, well, see, this is what we told you.
Right.
Even though it sucks because it's like, yo, he only had 1 week. You know what I'm saying? He played with the ones, and now it's like you expected to come in and just do what you do. I mean, he black, so we should be used to it in that sense. I'm being dead serious.
I know, right? That just came off so matter of fact.
This is just the cards that's just stacked against you. So there's no excuses, bro. Just you do what you do what God, the way that God made you, like you're fine. You know what I'm saying? But then if you win, it's like, okay, like, it
was the Raiders.
It was, you know what I'm saying? Oh, no, not even that. I think if he wins, I mean, I still don't feel like for the higher ups in Cleveland, it's going to be like, oh, see, like, no, it's just going to be like, oh, yeah, well, this is what you're supposed to do. I just hope that, he really gets comfortable. If the man can really just let that ball go, because he plays like Gino. If he let that ball go, he'll be fine. But I'm actually rooting for him. Like I said,
we're gonna see, man. Going into transition to the other team, our last matchup before we get into the picks. Big game. Unfortunately, Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles. Because what you have is the matchups is so interesting. You have a very, very, very good Dallas offense. Let's call it what it is. And you have a very, very, very good Eagles defense. On the flip side, you got a horrible Dallas defense. And playing wise, you have a bad Eagles offense. which can be better if they decide to play different. But this game is going to be so interesting because this could potentially end up being one of those games where if Dallas is hitting with George Pickens, with CD and these guys there, they could literally go out there. If Philadelphia plays like they do, especially on offense, they can end up getting blown out in this game. They can, because now you're forcing Jalen to play faster than he wants to. But at the same time, this could be one of those games where Dak can have a 3-interception game because that damn defensive line in Philly is stupid good. Mm-hmm. But I mean, what do y'all got for this game, bro? Like,
I wish both of them. I wish they could tie.
They can.
I want them to tie. I mean, I can't stand either one of them, but you know, I have a disdain for the Cowboys.
We know, but we're trying to be professional analysts right now, kind of.
All right, so if I have to really put it, I feel like who has the complete team is the Eagles.
Yeah.
The Eagles have all of the components to win. I think their defense is going to be tested this week. You know, I think they have gotten better since the pickup of my man from Miami,
Phillips.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Phillips.
Yeah.
And the secondary hasn't been playing horrible, even though Jair Alexander ain't with them. But then also, Dallas has played better defensively with Quentin Williams. Like they look a little different. You know what I'm saying? They look a little different. So I feel like it's gonna come down to the defenses because I think the offenses could do what they do. I think the Cowboys utilize all of their components on their offense way better than the Eagles do. So I will hope that I forget who the offensive coordinator is for the Eagles. I will hope that he spreads that ball around.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they don't, they're gonna lose. You know, so
yeah.
But I got the Eagles though. I think the Eagles. Where they playing at? They playing in Philly?
I want to say
Dallas.
They playing
in Dallas. Oh.
Yeah.
So
take your time, brother.
Philly has to quiet down the noise. That's all it is.
Yeah.
They have the team. Yeah. I got no question on whether it's offensive or defensive side for them. They have the team. But the noise is so loud on a weekly basis there that you're not seeing them.
Yeah.
You know, if it ain't AJ, they're over there. They talking about how Saquon doesn't look like himself. And, you know, what's going on with the quarterback? What's going on with Hurts? Is he hurt? You know, what's going on with the line? They're getting old. They're not as punishing as they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can actually get in on the Eagles defense. Oh, see, that's the coach I was talking about. You know, fresh off a chip. You wouldn't even know that they won a chip.
Right. They so mad. They mad for man. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if they are able to quiet down the noise and just do what they do, because that's really what it is. Look, bro, if we gonna run 75% of the time and still come away with wins, that's what the hell we gonna do. Like, that's what it is. Until you show me that we're not winning doing this, it's just going to be an ugly win.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Now, I understand why you got noise coming from the wide receiver side of things, because I don't get paid just off of chips, especially if I'm not the part of doing so. So I'm not even coming at AJ Brown. It's I understand that's your pay. That's your, you know, so-and-so, everything that's going on. That's your negotiations in the offseason. But at the same time, as a whole, when I'm looking at the Eagles, you do whatever the hell you got to do to come away with the dub. Because the same team that throws it 50 million times and they whoop a team by 3 touchdowns and all that type of stuff comes out the next week and they lose and they look horrible.
Yeah.
Welcome to how we were just talking about the Bills. Josh Allen had a stellar performance the week beforehand and everybody's like, oh my God, this is crazy. And the very next week, the same offense that you relied on didn't show up. I will depend on defense and running that ball all day. It is a given formula. dating back to whenever you want to go back to.
Yeah.
If you can ground and pound, and if you can sit back and hold it down on defense, you will win championships. And then the fact that you're able to sprinkle in the fact of, oh, by the way, we have an AJ Brown over here. We got a Devontae over. Like, they can figure it out and do what they want to do at any given time. Oh, by the way, let's just throw some screens out to Saquon to get him going. Shoot, Gainwell's out there doing this. Like, they can figure it out. That's why I'm like, they're one of those teams that, honestly, I don't even need to see everything that's in your bag in the regular season, because you can get to the postseason without it.
Yep.
So it's one of those things. If they can quiet down the noise, they're fine. On the Dallas side of things, sadly, I do have to agree. Like, I know a lot of people were talking about this Micah side of things and pushing them on out of there. But what did I just say about the Eagles? You quiet down the noise. Micah was the noise. He was the noise. Every week it was a soap opera.
Mm-hmm.
You can push that out and bring in quality players. You're a great player. But if I could bring in 2 quality players right here and get picks and be able to already have my offense, not give anything away and just figure it out. And people forget, like, they have cornerbacks back there. They just weren't playing to their potential all season. But now if you can get a rush, if you can cause any type of commotion up there, cornerbacks will look a whole lot better because there's less time.
Yep.
So that's what's happening with Dallas. So that was actually a good move, in my opinion. Sadly to say, because I don't want them to do jack shit. But that's really what's going on. But all in all, I think Philly's a better team. Just quiet down the noise, both sides.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be, of course, everybody's gonna be tuned in. There's a couple, some games we're looking at today. You're looking at that game to seeing one if Dallas is real. You're looking at the Cleveland game. Of course, you're looking at Kansas City Colts game to see if they're gonna be out of it. It's a lot. This week is lined up to give us some really good football. In the meantime,
my same pick, Shay.
Yeah, and even with Washington being on a bye week today, the bye week, it looks like the odds are the bye week is favored by like 7, which is kind of crazy for Washington, and we don't even play. So if you just caught that, just let you know, it's real sad over here in Washington right now. Let's go and get into these picks, man.
You know what? I was getting triggered because I was like, this Negro is still picking, and y'all not playing. Like, what?
But you just missed. What
No,
I
know.
said,
That's what I was saying. I was like, I missed what you. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. See, it didn't hit like I thought it was gonna hit. That's fine. Let's go get into some picks, man. But first, man, let's go get a recap and see how we doing this year. Let's go.
I just have one critique. I feel like since we are doing overall, I don't think you need to do. I think you should do one where you show overall, like with everybody. So who's the top 3 out of all of us? You see what I'm saying?
I'm fine with it.
I think
Because we're all in the competition. So.
Yeah, because everybody's in it. You know what I'm saying?
I think you should let me produce the show.
It was a critique.
On a mute.
It was some feedback. Feedback.
Hey, well, I got 2 things. I got 2 things before we pick.
Yeah.
Number 1, my guy, Javen, that guy with the 7 wins.
Yo,
we
gotta get him something for that, man. 7 8.
He most consistent.
I know. I should have took him to damn Vegas this weekend. He did with 7 wins. I know I should have took him to Vegas. We could have saw F1, and then at the same time go bet because 7 every week. He throwing 7s. We could have been on the table. 7.
And then number two, and Gary can back me up on this. I already have my picks in on our sheet that we got. I'm gonna go back and forth with Jay. Jay is not going to have me picking each and every one first, so he can just match for the rest of the year. So I got my picks in on here. I'll say some of them first. Some of them I'm waiting for Jay.
Oh my God. Let's go get this thing going, man. First game's up. This is Thanksgiving week too, so we're gonna have a few more picks to add in here this week. Jets at Ravens. This is the stretch where the Ravens are trying to take over the division, which is funny because they started off 1-4, 1-5. Jets coming to Baltimore. I got Ravens in this game.
I got the Ravens.
I got the Ravens. Couldn't even play myself.
See what I got.
Gary has the Ravens.
Okay.
And wait for Jay here.
What you got, Malik? Oh, did Malik send you his off?
I'll probably
off mic.
Get his off. All right, got the Ravens. All right.
Let's get it. Steelers at Bears with Aaron Rodgers out. I was gonna pick Chicago anyway, so I got Chicago.
Jay stupid. You say you got Chicago?
Yeah, I got Chicago.
All right, Earl.
I got Chi-Town.
All right, Gary has the Steelers. Jay, who you got? So I'm going back and forth. All right, you got the Bears. Shoot, I got the Bears too. All right, keep going.
Patriots at Bengals. Patriots, Cincinnati. Do not bring back Joe Burrow this season. Lose all your games.
Pretty much. Like,
get a top pick. Trade back
Patriots.
and fill out your damn roster. Do not bring him back.
I got the Pitats.
That man been hurt since his rookie season. And he got the worst injuries possible. Knee, turf toe, wrist, all the stuff. Like, bruh, nah, this ain't it.
You got the Pats, Earl?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Giants at Lions.
Don't even ask me, dog.
I got the Lions.
You know who I got.
Yeah.
I wasn't joking when I said I ain't picking down.
We're not picking down for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So I ain't
So
got
I
access. No, I'm resounding with that.
And thank you for sitting dark.
Hey, Dan Campbell. I see what you're doing
He's still in concussion protocol, so it ain't matter anyway.
Yeah. Look, I see what Dan Campbell doing. I'm sorry, Gary. You taking over play calling for teams that are not good. I see what you're doing, buddy. I see what you're doing. I'm just kidding. I don't want you coming after me. You're a big guy. Don't like it. All right. Vikings at Packers.
This is going to be a good one. I don't like the way the Packers have been playing, but they are at home, so I'm going to pick the Packers.
Yeah, I got the Pack this week. Somebody go save Justin Jefferson in Minnesota because he is this close from crashing out, brother.
I said that a couple weeks too.
He is. Look, he was so mad, bro. He caught himself. He was literally about.
But
to
I
go
said this about
slam
JJ.
off.
I said you're gonna get confused by him because he's gonna throw a pass that looks so on target.
Yeah.
Like his accuracy is gonna look stellar, and then he's gonna throw 4 that are like he's kicking a field goal. So yeah,
He's so late with the ball, man. He's late to the party, and then he realizes that he's late, and he throws the ball hard as he can. What makes it look, oh, look at that arm. Now he just late to the party, bro, and just making it hard for his receivers. Justin Jefferson, somebody go get him, please. Oh boy, this is going to define your season, Kansas City. But you can't stop the run. So I got the Colts. Sorry about that.
Yeah, Nick Rose is funny. I got the Chiefs.
What you got over there, Jay? He said,
I got the Packers too, Jay. I told you I'm going back and forth. He's still matching with me. I can't even win.
Damn it, man.
If I was Jay, I'd pick the same people that you pick every week.
No, but we're going back. That's why I said I'm going back and forth. But even doing that, I'm picking the same one.
Let's go.
Like mine are already on here, so.
Seahawks at Titans. In the words of DJ Khaled, Tennessee, you played yourself. You played yourself. Seahawks. I got Seahawks in this game.
Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
That defense in Seattle is stupid good, bro. Yeah, stupid good.
Gary had the Chiefs also. Just listening.
You behind on us, Jay? Because he didn't get. Okay, he gets the Seahawks. There we go. There you go. I got him.
You missed the
you missed the Colts Chiefs pick though, Jay. You got Colts or Chiefs. I think he'll catch up with us in a minute. Jaguars at Cardinals. Oh boy, Eesh. I got Jags.
Earl.
I know. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals, man. Hurry up.
All right.
Browns at Raiders. I'm gonna ride with the Browns, bro. Hey,
Had the Jags also.
I'm going with the Browns.
That's just based off.
I got alone. The Browns. You say you got the Browns?
I got the Browns. Yeah.
All right.
Eagles at I saw that. Eagles at Cowboys. I'm gonna actually pick Dallas in this, man.
I got the Eagles.
You say you're picking Dallas?
Yeah, I'm going with Dallas in this.
Dallas. Eagles. Jay, we need Browns, Raiders, and Eagles, Cowboys.
In the essence of time, he'll catch up with us. Poop game. Falcons at Saints. Jesus Christ. Let's go with. God, this is horrible. I'm gonna go with the.
I got Eagles also.
I'm gonna go with the Falcons on this one. I think Kirk Cousins is playing today.
I got the Browns on that one. Jay, you say you going with Kirk Cousins?
Yeah. This game is ass.
Damn, man. Make sure I get these in.
Oh, jeez. I got the Falcons, bro.
Yeah, that's one of those games like, I don't even want to play that game where you're cutting the grass. Buccaneers at Rams. Sunday night game. I got the Rams, man. I got the Rams.
I picked, let's see. I picked the Colts. I got the Rams.
Our Monday night game. Panthers at 49ers.
Give me the Niners.
Let me get the Panthers, man. They out here being frisky. Let me go with the Panthers in this game.
Hey, man.
He said he's just not gonna pick off me.
Nah, I already made those picks. I told you I'm going every other. I only hold every other.
All right. This weekend, man, we got it's turkey season now, man. So week 13, Thanksgiving Day games. So we got 3 games happening on that day. So let's go ahead and get these picked. We got Packers at Lions. I got Lions on that.
I got the Lions.
Wait a minute. My bad. I must have missed one. Who'd y'all have for the 49ers, Panthers?
I got Panthers for that game.
Girl.
You said Packers. You said Packers and Lions?
No, Panthers, 49ers.
Panthers.
Yeah, the Monday night game.
49ers.
I think. Yeah, 49ers that game.
All right, I got 49ers. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Packers, Lions. I got the Lions.
Yep.
That's the Lions.
Yep, Lions as well. Chiefs at Cowboys. I got Cowboys, man. They're going to have a busy week. They got back-to-back games at home. That's crazy. You ain't got to leave. In a matter of 4 days. 4 or 5 days, really.
I got the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
The later games of that day, Bengals at Ravens. I got Ravens in that game.
I got the Ravens.
Who got that Bengals game? That Bengals Ravens game. That late night.
Ravens.
Thanks. Got you. And we got a Black Friday game this year as well. Bears at Eagles. I got Eagles on that game.
I got Eagles.
Eagles.
Jay, I'm missing one. Besides the last one we just said. I'm missing your Falcons Saints.
And once he gets that pick in, man, that is
that game.
Our picks for this week before we get out here, because we know it's time for kickoff. Of course, this is the Football Talk. The Hot Seat Podcast was in Football Talk Live, powered by DUBBY. Of course, you can actually go over to DUBBY.GG, insert the code, the Hot Seat Podcast, and get 10% off of your order. But it being the holidays, going to Black Friday, if you act now, if you go to DUBBY.GG, you will actually get 30% off your order up until November 30th by using the code, the Hot Seat Podcast. So DUBBY Energy means no sugar, no crash, best in taste. Hey, keep this thing going. You guys got anything before we get out of here?
Need Jay's Eagles, Bears. Well, Bears, Eagles, Black Friday.
Thank you for putting us on that family plan, dog. You the real MVP. I appreciate you, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about. You ain't tracking me. I don't know what you're talking about. The man is always listening.
Always, man. Jay, that last game, the Bears-Eagles Black Friday game, what you got? We don't know. If not, send it offline before we can roll these credits so y'all can get into watching y'all football. He got it in there. We appreciate you guys, man. We will see. Have a good holiday week, man. Have a good holiday week.
Yeah,
have a safe travel. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah. All that, man. Be with your loved ones, love on them, all that in between, man. Yo, it's a hot seat. Yo, we out.